What's up, everyone? So, in keeping with the Kenya Morans situation, Coach Cliff Owuor calls for early preparations as Morans World Cup chances hang by a thin thread. Well, I mentioned this, I predicted this earlier. I tweeted about it. Guys didn't want to believe me. Now it's the truth. We are down in a 0-3. We're down 0-3, and there's no coming back from that. So the national team remains winless in their quest for a World Cup slot. So this article is by Morans Sport. Let's just get into it real quick. National men's basketball side Kenya Morans have a Herculean task in July as they look to overturn the 0-3 deficit in the FIBA Africa World Cup qualifications. I mentioned this earlier. Based on the stats, they were not going to win a single game. I said they're going to be swept even a month prior to the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Guys did not want to believe me, and this is happening, and guys are acting surprised that we are down 0-3. I actually prepared you people, and I said, if we don't make the changes, we're going to lose. And I was very categorical when I said that. And guys called me about a lot of things. They called me negative. They called me a hater. They said that I don't care. I don't even know anything about basketball. But if you look closely statistically, we were not going to beat Congo DR. We're not going to beat Egypt. We're not going to beat Senegal. Congo DR, they picked up what they left off in the African. They beat African finals in 2019 in Bamako, Mali. So they beat us. Actually, that time they blew us out by at least 25 plus points. Okay, you can say the Kenya Morans improved, but you can't say they improved by, just cutting the deficit to 10 points. So they lost. The Egypt game, that is unforgivable. They lost by a record 54 points. In the Senegal game, I was expecting Senegal to beat us, but not by that. This is actually the worst we have looked against Senegal. The first time I thought it was worse in the November 2020 in the first window of the FIBA AfroBasket qualifiers, but we looked bad in this second game. So, yeah. Up against tough opposition in Group D that has the Democratic Republic of Congo, Egypt, and Senegal, the coach Cliff Owuor led East Africans lost their matches in Dakar in February to put themselves in a top place in the next window. Yeah, you can say it's not a matter of not preparing; it's a matter of the management that is there. The coach, the federation, the team manager failed. All these things, the Kenya Morans just didn't look bad this window. They've been bad all through. It's just that they found a top-sided team that were not going to play around with them. You see, even in the AfroBasket, they got lucky. They were not pulled with Egypt. They were not pulled with Tunisia. The Kenya Morans were just so lucky. They got battered by Senegal twice. Okay, they stole a game against Angola. They split 1-1 against Mozambique. So the cracks were there, but no one was willing to acknowledge the cracks. But now, when they found a top-sided team like Egypt, Senegal, I can say they are still top-sided because they finished number 3 in the AfroBasket. They only lost to Cote d'Ivoire. And, Senegal were just on that level. But when Kenya faced a top-sided team that was not going to joke with them, they were going to look poorly, and they did. Coach Cliff Owuor didn't have an answer to that because the Kenya Basketball Federation fired Coach Liz Mills unprofessionally and unprocedurally. Then they act surprised that they lost 3 straight. Coach Cliff Owuor is not the coach that is going to lead this team to any success. You can keep him, the Kenya Basketball Federation, you can keep him, but you're never going to win with him. Not a tournament. Not an upset win against all these other big nations. You can keep him, but you're never going to win with him. So, continuing with the article, Owuor, however, remains hopeful his charges can overturn the result for a chance at making the debut of the globals on the global scene next year. Nope, that's not happening. We're just gonna go 0-6, and I'm going to predict again. We're just gonna go 0-6 because we're not gonna fix anything. The 19th edition of the FIBA World Cup will be the first World Cup to be hosted by multiple nations: the Philippines, Japan, Indonesia, from 25th August to 10th September 2023. Honestly, Kenya is just going to go for 6. I'm just saying. I digress. We had a tough outing in Dakar where in the first match we had to play with no personnel on the low post. Yeah, keep making excuses. Keep making excuses for yourself. We only operate with the guys on the court. We don't care about the guy who's off the court. You can say that you didn't have personnel. Tailongwe quit the team. So who do you have to blame? Yourself. Even after the arrival of Fidel Okoth in the second and third matches where he did nothing, it was still not enough to cover the absence of key center players and that affected our performance. Keep making excuses, bro. Keep making excuses for yourself. If we want to make winners, do not make excuses. Keep making excuses. Take the loss on the chin and say, bro, we played poorly, we lost. Take it like a man and say that. Don't come here and start saying that, oh, we lost our key players. So this guy is trying to defuse the situation and try to make it that, or because we lost just because we didn't have the key players. The key players were not there in the first place. So you making an excuse there and saying that we lost because of them is irrelevant. Because do these key players that you say that we are not there, do they add any extra wins in that roster? They don't. Look at the guys who are saying that they were not there. Taylor Ongwe, Desmond Owili, Ronnie Gundo, Bush Wamukota. Do these people add any extra wins in that team? Look at the Afrobasket. Out of in a span of 10 games that these people played, they won only 3. They had a record of 3-7. All these centers that this guy is saying did not even add any extra win. No extra win in those games. So you saying that this is an excuse for why you lost is hogwash. Moving forward. However, in the coming window, expect more players to be available for selection, but the most important thing will be early preparations. Unfortunately, you don't know that. There's no early preparations. Bro, you have since to July, you have approximately 4 to 5 months to prepare. Have you started training camp? Have you even released a statement apologizing to the country for embarrassing us on a global stage in front of the international basketball community? We expect an apology for what you did. You come here and start saying that, oh, we lost because you didn't have key players. Bro, you lost because you didn't prepare and you didn't take your work seriously. That's why you lost. Yeah, I mean, Morans went down 56-66 to Congo DR. Of course, this was expected because Congo DR owned Kenya and they beat them in the African finals in Bamako in 2019 for suffering the biggest defeat yet in a 105-51 thrashing in the hands of the Pharaohs of Egypt. Actually, mind you, this is not even a Team A of Egypt. This was Team B of Egypt that beat us. So that goes to show you that the guys who went and represented us were garbage. Not for lack of a better word. This side suffered a similar fate against the host Senegal, conceded 155 to leave the tournament winless. So the Kenya Morans are a losing team. Okay, teams like Rwanda went 0-3. A team like Rwanda went 0-3. But they didn't look as bad as the Kenya Morans looked. Kenya Morans in this whole window gave up 2 100-point games. They conceded an average of 103 in a span of 2 games, 103 points per game in 2 games in back-to-back losses. And yet these people come in and say that we're being negative. Oh my God. Give me a break. The lack of coordination and team chemistry due to inadequate preparation affect the team. You see, excuses upon excuses. If you guys lose in the second window, will you have any excuses left? Because this is the same excuse. The lack of coordination and team chemistry due to inadequate preparations affected the team. This is the same excuse that a guy like Jola Wich gave in the game that they lost to Mozambique in the qualifiers. Go check the interview. He said lack of chemistry and team coordination. I told you, these guys don't play together. The team that was practicing in Nairobi went to Dakar. Players, about 5 players, the international players flew directly to Dakar. They didn't even pass through Nairobi to go to Dakar. So they met a day before the tournament. What do people expect? Do you think you can just fix chemistry in a day or hours? It's not gonna work. You can't fix chemistry in hours. We are in talks with the federation and the players, and I hope to have players in camp at least a month before the next. A month is not enough. Give it 4 months together. Tell them to drop everything that they're doing and be in camp for at least 4 months so that they can train for this. Because you cannot lose like that. A competition of this magnitude does not allow you to prepare for only 1 month. Be realistic. All is not lost. Yes, all is lost. And with all the stakeholders coming together, the team can still make the list to the World Cup. Okay, you keep being hopeful, but the statistics and the results suggest otherwise. So far, a total of 16 teams have played 24 games in the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 African qualifiers over the course of 2 qualifying windows, which dates back to November 2021. At stake in the 5 tickets available for the continent to the global festival. So, I mean, that's the end of the article. I mean, as much as you guys, you Kenya Morans, the Coach Cliff Owuor, the team manager, Massimo, you try to, have a soft landing. There is no saving. You can't save yourself here. You have to make sure this team is in training camp. Even today, they should be training for that. You cannot let this team fall again. Because right now, all the 3 teams in our group have our number. We are the weakest team there. We lost the plus minus or minus 100 plus because of how badly we looked. We didn't even score more than, we didn't even score or anything. You thought that, you being close to Congo DR will make you have an ability to beat a team like Egypt. You're not going to beat a team like Egypt. I knew it from the start. Statistically, the only team that you are going to be at least being able to beat was Congo DR. But that was by a thin thread because of the caliber of the Pharaohs and the Lions. Yeah. So, unfortunately for you, you are going to lose again. And this time is going to be worse. Because all the teams, Congo DR, Egypt, and Senegal, are just going to keep getting better. Because, they have the facilities. They have the better courts. They have the competent federation. They have better coaching staff. They're not incompetent like you people in the federation who have allowed this thing to happen. You have pushed away our best players. You refuse to pick players from Kenya. Then you go and get embarrassed. Then you expect us to side with you with your failure, which is not going to happen. So, you guys are just going to go 0 for 6. You're going to go 0 for 3 again in July. And there's no saving grace for you. And for the record, the Q Kenya Basketball Federation, you fired Coach Liz Mills unprofessionally. She's succeeding with the Saleh team, the Moroccan team in the BAL. That goes to show you that she wasn't incompetent. I actually made a video earlier. And I actually thought she was incompetent, but she wasn't. Because in a span of 5 games, she was able to win 3. In a span of 5 games that she coached that team, she was only able to win 2. That goes to show you that the coach was good, but the team was poor. The team is poor. As much as you keep saying that the players, we miss key players, there are no key players if they don't add any extra wins. You tell me which player is adding extra wins. We have 7-footers who are averaging more fouls than points scored in a game. You find a guy averaging 5 fouls a game, yet he's only scoring 3.3 points. Yeah, your centers. These centers who are just 7-footers, and you have guys who are 5'8" who can grab more rebounds than them. So, it is what it is. So, as much as you try to keep your hopes up, the reality is the Kenya Morans are not gonna go anywhere, and they're gonna go 0 for 6, and it's better they just forfeit. Just forfeit your position. Let these 3 teams just continue, and you could have just given that slot to another team and focus on regrouping. Because the more that you keep delaying this, you're going to embarrass yourself again. And the same result is going to occur again. So that's all I had to say about that. Because sometimes you just have to tell it the way it is. And as much as it's a bitter pill to swallow, but you just have to call it the way it is in the middle. So yeah, if you like the video, make sure you like the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notification posts, hit that like button, man. We get them likes up, man. You do that, man. And I'm out. Peace.